What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Zachary Smith Show. I am Zachary Smith. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell before we dive in. Also, if you missed episode 1 of the Zachary Smith Show with my best friend, John Sargison, discussing our respective mental health journeys, how we've come back from very dark places in our lives to get to a point of never being happier than we currently are, please go check that out. A lot of great feedback on it. Some very nice comments left, whether it's people that were feeling in the same place at one point in their lives. Heck, maybe now you're in a similar place, or just, people that were offering words of encouragement. Greatly appreciate that. It was awesome. And I think much needed conversation that needs to take place much more often than it does. And, I'm not calling anybody out by that. I'm guilty of it as well. But what I've noticed kind of is like I map out here, I think a lot of these are going to be intertwined, a lot of the topics that are discussed on here, because I want to talk about something today it's very prevalent in my life right now, and that's just feeling burnout, man. Like I posted about it this week, funny enough, on Twitter. But by the time you guys are watching or listening to this, I've actually deactivated my Twitter for the time being. I'm about to go on vacation, and just kind of wanted to, unplug as much as possible. If that app is on my phone and easily accessible, I'm probably on it and spending way too much time on there and it controlling my life. So it's best to just deactivate it, get it out of my hands for a little bit, and just enjoy the time away that I'm going to have with a couple of great friends. So very excited for that trip. It's much needed. I am not somebody, and let's just get right into it. I'm not somebody that typically is ever like, oh man, I need a vacation or something like that. I rarely feel like that, but I don't know if it's just a product of, the way that I've lived life finally catching up to me or what it is. I jump on pretty much any opportunity when it comes to content that people offer me, and I'm always willing to jump in. Like, I am so humbled and honored anytime somebody asks me to like make an appearance on a podcast, or sometimes do a radio hit, whatever it might be. I'm just so humbled that people care enough about my opinion that they want me to do so, that I'm like always saying yes. And there's days where I start, my real job. I shouldn't say real job. Well, I would say 9 to 5, 8 to 5, because I actually start at 8 in the morning, and then go do that, jump on my own podcast, Steelers Afternoon Drive with Alan Saunders, and then jump on another podcast. I have days sometimes where my day starts at 8 and doesn't end until like close to 8:30, 9 p.m. sometimes. And there's just no sustainability in that. Like, I can't continue to live like that. I've started to feel the effects of it, definitely feeling burnout. And I think that the problem, other than just like the lack of energy, maybe that is associated with that, I really don't want to have this stuff end up feeling more like a chore. Like, if I start to feel like it's getting to that point, I need to take a step back and be like, whoa, because like this is the stuff that I love doing. I really enjoy doing. This is what got me largely out of that dark place that I talked about in episode 1. So I definitely don't want to get to a point where I'm feeling like that, where I feel like I'm just showing up because I have to do this type of stuff. And I also like, the reason that I hesitate to even like talk about this is because I know there's a lot of people that aren't in this position that would love to have the platform that I do. And it just sounds like me complaining about it, but like by no means do I want it to come off that way. Again, I'm very thankful for the life that I'm able to live, and so grateful for the people that have supported me in whatever venture it might be, and have, I bought a house this year largely because of that. So I want to take nothing away from that. It's just when I'm feeling like I'm showing up just because I have to, and it's becoming like not fun for me, that's where I have to take a step back, recharge the batteries, and come back at it. And maybe try to think about how is this more sustainable over a longer period of time. So, I, again, made the decision. I'm going on vacation this weekend through the middle of next week. And I just want to unplug as much as possible, take that time in with the people that I'm going to be with. And I think that that's going to go a long way for this. But again, that's like a short-term fix, right? Like, you're talking about a couple of days away. What happens when I come back and we're right back at it? For me, what I've thought about is I need to be okay with saying no. Like, again, very humbled, very thankful for the people that always want to bring me in for these things. But like, I got my own stuff going on. I think that the people know that. I think they'd be okay with me. It's me worrying about like disappointing or upsetting people when I know that they'll be okay with it because I know the people that are asking me. So I think that that's going to go a long way, as well as cutting back that, I work out 6 days a week. I could probably cut that back to 5 and have one more night a week where I'm kind of just chilling. I've gotten really into like the meal prepping as well. Like I love cooking, but that also can take quite a bit of time depending on what it is. There's just so many things in life where like these are things that I enjoy, but when you don't have the time to just do nothing because of that, they start to feel like chores. And I don't ever want to feel that way. So, how do I get out of feeling like they are? Just taking more time to myself, taking more time to just do nothing, do nothing, but let's just sit on my couch, watch TV, whatever it might be, to just get my mind off the other stuff where I'm literally doing nothing, no obligations. It's different for other people, like, right? So some people might view the podcasting as what they would want to do as their time away. And maybe that's the case. But I am just I've become over the last few years such a detail oriented person. I'm definitely my mother's son in this way, where my days are so structured out, it can get like monotonous, and you got to have something to break it up. So I don't know, long-winded a little bit here. And when it's just a solo podcast, it's obviously going to be, but it's not going to be the same for everybody in terms of what that thing is to get you out of feeling burnout, what that relaxation is, what that time away is. I really enjoy working out, obviously, but maybe I take a step back a little bit there from 6 days to 5 days. You got to find ways to cut some corners, I think. I just don't think it's sustainable. At least I don't feel that way. And again, everybody has different lives. Everybody feels differently. But I know that everybody gets to a point where they feel burnout, right? At some point in your life, one way or another, you feel burnout. What is your way out of that? What is your form of relaxation? That's what I want to know. I don't know that I have the answer. I don't even know that I certainly don't have the answers for other people. I don't know that I have the answer for myself. We're going to do some experimenting and see if it gets any better. I also don't sleep very well at night, and I think that that's part of it. If you're sleeping 5-6 hours, and I make it seem, again, there are people, especially like ones that have newborn babies or whatever. I have no kids. People that have young children, I'm sure they hear 5-6 hours and they're like, oh, this guy. I understand. But like I caught myself like almost falling asleep at work the other day, and I'm like, yeah, that was the day where I tweeted about feeling burnout. Something's got to change. I've got to make a change. The point of this podcast is honestly just to have like open conversations with whoever's watching or listening. Like it's very much a feedback oriented show. That's what I want this to become, is people responding with, whatever they use, whatever their mechanisms are to get out of whatever the discussion is about. In this case, feeling burnout. What is your way of getting out of that feeling when you do feel burnout? What is your go-to? Let me know in the comments. I will be away for a few days. Not sure when episode 3 of this podcast is going to come out. Again, like I don't have like a regular schedule for when this is going to come out. Don't have regular format in terms of how long these are going to be. Obviously, the first one was like nearly an hour. This one's about 10 minutes. So very drastic change there in terms of that. But yeah, I'm looking forward, like I've said on episode 1, if you missed it, to this journey and what comes of this show, the feedback that you guys give me. Just an open conversation with myself and with you guys about how I'm feeling current state. So looking forward to this trip away. Hopefully it recharges the batteries and I come back and I'm able to live a more, sustainable, long-term outlook. But let me know. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Appreciate you guys for tapping in. to another one. Follow me everywhere. I got that down below as well. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, same thing. Zachary Smith PGH. Well, actually, I just said I deactivated my Twitter, but I'll definitely be back sooner rather than later. That's just kind of my way to completely recharge and unplug from that world for a little bit. But anyways, again, appreciate you guys, and we'll see you next time. This has been another Zachary Smith Show.